video we discussed about the AC voltage connected to a resistor. Today we can study what happens when AC voltage is connected to an inductor. So this is an AC source which is connected to an inductor L. We know AC voltage is given by V equal to Vm sin omega t. Okay, and what is the voltage across the inductor? Let I be the AC current, I be the AC current flowing through it. Now the voltage across the inductor L is given by V equal to minus L into di divided by dt. Okay, so total voltage is Vm sin omega t, that is the AC voltage. Voltage across the inductor can be written as minus L into di by dt. Therefore, the total voltage can be written as the net instantaneous EMF or net voltage can be written as Vm sin omega t minus L into di divided by dt equal to 0. Clear? Now we are deriving the formula for current. For that we can take this to the other side. So Vm sin omega t is equal to L into di by dt. From this current di can be written as, what is di? Di equal to Vm sin omega t dt divided by L. So current di, the small change in current di equal to Vm by L sin omega t dt. Now we have to calculate the total current. Okay, so how will we calculate the total current? We can integrate. So integrate di is equal to integral Vm divided by L sin omega t dt. Now integral di is I equal to Vm divided by L. What is integral sin omega t dt? We have integral sin omega t dt is equal to minus cos omega t. Okay, minus cos omega t divided by that coefficient omega. Clear, children? So here integral sin omega t dt can be written as minus cos omega t divided by, what is the coefficient here? Omega. So here we can write L omega. Here actually in integration there is an integration constant. See, that integration constant is equal to 0. Okay, so current I can be written as Vm divided by L omega minus cos omega t. Vm, that is the peak value of voltage, divided by L omega. Here L omega is called resistance, and that resistance is called inductive reactance. That is actually the resistance offered by inductor to the flow of electric current. So L omega has the dimension of resistance, and this L omega is called the inductive reactance. So L omega is inductive reactance. Inductive reactance, it is represented by XL. So inductive reactance XL is equal to L omega. It is actually the resistance offered by inductor to the flow of AC current. And its SI unit is, what is its SI unit? Since it is resistance, its SI unit is Ohm. Okay. Now we can write, therefore I is equal to Vm divided by L omega. L omega can be substituted as XL. So Vm divided by XL into minus cos omega t, or equal to, here this is voltage, peak value voltage divided by resistance. Voltage by resistance is current. So I equal to Im minus cos omega t. Okay, so actually voltage is Vm sin omega t, and here the current is I equal to Im minus cos omega t. So we have to convert this minus cos omega t in terms of sign. Then only we can say that voltage and current are in phase, or voltage or current are out of phase. Both should be same sign value or same cos value. Okay, or here therefore we can convert this minus cos omega t in terms of a sine function. So actually minus cos omega t minus cos theta is equal to sine omega t minus pi by 2. Okay, so minus cos theta is equal to sine theta minus pi by 2. Okay, 90 degree. So here substituting minus cos omega t can be written as I equal to Im sin omega t minus pi by 2. So we can say the current, when AC current flows through the inductor L, what is the current now? I equal to Im sin omega t minus pi by 2, and from this we can say that current, what happens to current? Current lags voltage by an angle. What is that angle? Pi by 2, because actually voltage is Vm sin omega t, and what is the current we got? I equal to Im sin omega t minus pi by 2. Okay, so current lags voltage by angle pi by 2. Therefore, we can say current lags behind voltage by an angle pi divided by 2. And what is the value of Im here? Im equal to Vm divided by XL. So, what happens when AC voltage is connected to an inductor? When an AC voltage is connected to an inductor, current lags behind voltage by an angle pi by 2. Now, we can draw the graphical representation and the phasor diagram. Here we can draw the graph. A graph is plotted with omega t along the x-axis, voltage and current, AC voltage and current along the y-axis. Okay, that is a graph. Graph is usually plotted with omega t along the x-axis, voltage and current along the y-axis. So, first we can draw the voltage. Here this represents the voltage. Here 0, maximum value is pi by 2, this is pi. Here this value is 3 pi by 2 and this is 2 pi. Okay. So, that is the angle 0, 90 degree, pi by 2, pi, 3 pi by 2 and 2 pi. And this represents the graphical representation for voltage. Now, what is this maximum value? This maximum value is Vm, the peak value Vm. Now, how will you draw the current? We know that here the current lags voltage by an angle pi by 2. When AC voltage is connected to an inductor, current is lagging voltage by an angle pi by 2. So, here how will you draw the current graph? Current graph is, so start from this point, current is lagging, no? So, like this, current lags voltage by an angle pi by 2. So, this is the graph. Okay, why its magnitude is less? We know that current Im, the magnitude of current Im equal to Vm by XL. Okay, voltage by resistance, and hence the value of Im is always less than the value of Vm, because actually Im equal to Vm by XL. So, the magnitude of Im is always less than the magnitude of Vm, and hence the magnitude of Im, this is the magnitude of I current, and Im is always less than that of voltage. Clear, children? And here the current is lagging voltage by an angle pi by 2. So, it starts from the bottom region and it passes through pi by 2. Since it is lagging voltage by an angle pi by 2. Okay, so this is the graph of voltage and current when AC voltage is connected to an inductor. Now, we have to draw the phasor diagram. From the graph, we can draw the phasor. Consider an angle between 0 and pi by 2. For example, like this. So, here consider an angle between 0 and pi by 2, and that angle is marked as omega t1. So, this is omega t1, and from that omega t1 draw a perpendicular so that it touches the voltage curve and the current curve. Here it touches the current curve, isn't it? So, from that draw a perpendicular like this. Here touches the voltage curve like this. So, here this is the perpendicular drawn from omega t1, and here it touches the voltage curve and here it touches the current curve. Okay, children. Now, how will you draw the phasor? Phasor, from the origin draw a vector like this. So, this vector represents the current phasor, and again from the origin draw a vector like this. And this vector represents the voltage phasor, and from the phasor itself we can say that the length of voltage phasor is always greater than the current phasor, because Vm is greater than Im. Clear? So, here this is the voltage phasor and this represents the current phasor. And what is this angle? this angle is omega T1. Here we have drawn the phasor from omega T1, no? So this angle is omega T1. And the projection, this is called a projection. This projection is actually Vm sin omega T1, and this projection is, what is that, Im sin omega T1 minus pi divided by 2. And the magnitude of voltage, this represents Vm, and here this magnitude of current, that is Im, and Im is always less than Vm. So this is the graphical representation and phasor diagram when AC voltage is connected to a inductor. Now we can derive the formula for instantaneous power supplied to the inductor. We have power P equals, what is the formula for power? Power equal to voltage into current, isn't it? Equals, what is the value of voltage? AC voltage is Vm sin omega T. And here the current is given by Im sin omega T minus pi divided by 2, pi by 2. Okay, so power equal to voltage into current, and voltage is Vm sin omega T, current is Im sin omega T minus pi by 2, equals Vm, Im can be taken together, sin omega T into, what is the sin omega T minus pi by 2? Sin omega T minus pi by 2 is minus cos omega T, isn't it? So it can be written as minus Vm Im into, what is the sin omega T cos omega T? We have sin theta cos theta. What is 2 sin theta cos theta? 2 sin theta cos theta is sin 2 theta. That you know. So 2 sin theta cos theta is sin 2 theta. So using this we can write sin omega T cos omega T can be written as sin omega T cos omega T is sin 2 omega T divided by 2. Because here there is no 2 here, no? So we can divide by 2. So this can be written as minus Vm Im by 2 sin 2 omega T. So instantaneous power is given by the formula minus Vm Im divided by 2 into sin 2 omega T. Clear? Now what is the average power over a complete cycle? Average power is represented by P average. P average is equal to, we have to take the average of this instantaneous value, instantaneous power. So that is minus Vm Im divided by 2 sin 2 omega T, and we have to take the average. So this is the average. Clear? So average is applicable only for sin 2 omega T. So others can be taken outside. So Vm Im divided by 2 into average of sin 2 omega T. So average of sin 2 omega T is equal to 0. So average of sin 2 theta, that is equal to 0. So average of sin 2 omega T is equal to 0. So here average power over a complete cycle is equal to 0. So when AC voltage is connected to an inductor, instantaneous power supplied to the inductor is minus Vm Im by 2 sin 2 omega T, and average power equal to 0. Okay children. Now we can discuss the third circuit, AC voltage connected to a capacitor. This is an AC source which is connected to a capacitor C. Here let Q be the charge. How will you write the AC voltage? AC voltage can be written as V equal to Vm sin omega T. Voltage across the capacitor is, what is the voltage across the capacitor? We know V equal to Q divided by C. Clear? C is the capacitance, so voltage across the capacitor is V equal to Q by C. So we can write, we can equate Vm sin omega T equal to Q by C. Now we are deriving the formula for current. Then only we can say that voltage and current are in phase or out of phase. So we can equate Vm sin omega T equal to Q by C. From this Q can be written as, what is Q? Vm C sin omega T. So charge is known. How will you find out the current? We know current is equal to rate of flow of electric charge. So I equal to dq divided by dt. is equal to d by dt of q. What is q here? Vmc sin omega t. Now we can take the differentiation is equal to Vm and C are constant. So they can be taken outside. Vmc into d by dt of sin omega t. Clear? Is equal to Vmc. What is d by dt of sin theta? Sin d by dt of sin omega t is cos omega t, isn't it? So it is cos omega t into the coefficient omega. Clear? So Vmc into d by dt of sin omega t is cos omega t into the coefficient omega. So we can write I equal to Vm c omega cos omega t. Clear? This can be rearranged as Vm into c omega can be written as Vm divided by 1 by c omega. So it is of the same form. Vm divided by 1 by c omega, it is same as Vm c omega. So it can be rearranged as Vm divided by 1 by c omega into cos omega t. Now voltage by this 1 by c omega is resistance. Okay, since left hand side current, right hand side should be some current value. So voltage by resistance is current. So 1 by c omega is called, it's a resistance offered by capacitor to AC current, and this 1 by c omega is called capacitive reactance. It is called capacitive reactance. It is actually the resistance offered by capacitor to AC current. So it is called capacitive reactance and it is represented as Xc. Capacitive reactance is represented as Xc. So Xc is equal to 1 by c omega and its unity, since it is resistance, its unit is ohm. Clear? So it can be written as I equal to Vm by 1 by c omega, and what is this 1 by c omega? Xc. So it can be written as Vm divided by Xc cos omega t. Now voltage by Xc is resistance, no? Voltage by resistance means current. So I equal to Im cos omega t. Clear children? Here Im equal to Vm divided by Xc. Now we have to convert this cos function to sine function, then only we can say voltage and the sine relation, the phase relation between voltage and current. So we have to convert this cos omega t into sine function. For that, cos theta, cos omega t is sine omega t plus pi by 2. Okay, so in the last section we have studied minus cos omega t is sine omega t minus pi by 2. Similarly, cos omega t is sine omega t plus pi by 2. So using this we can write I equal to Im cos omega t is sine omega t plus pi by 2. Clear children? So I equal to Im sine omega t plus pi by 2. So we can say current leads voltage by how much angle? By an angle pi by 2. I equal to Im sine omega t plus pi by 2, that is current leads voltage by an angle pi by 2. In the case of an inductor, we have studied when AC voltage is connected to an inductor, current lags voltage by an angle pi by 2. Similarly, when AC voltage is connected to a capacitor, current leads voltage by an angle pi by 2, because I equal to Im sine omega t plus pi by 2 and voltage is Vm sine omega t, that is current leads voltage by an angle pi by 2. Clear? Now we can draw the graph of voltage and current and phasor diagram when AC voltage is connected to a capacitor. Here a graph is drawn with omega t along the x-axis, voltage and current along the y-axis. As usual, here this represents the voltage. Okay, so here the angle is 0, the maximum value pi by 2, here pi, here 3 pi by 2, this one is 2 pi. And this line represents voltage. Clear? Now, how will you draw the current? Here current leads voltage by an angle pi by 2. When AC voltage is connected to a capacitor, we have studied current leads voltage by an angle pi by 2. Leads means it starts from the upper region. And what about the magnitude of current? Magnitude of the current is always less because Im equal to Vm by Xc. Isn't it? Im equal to Vm by Xc. So since Im equal to Vm by Xc, the magnitude of current is always less than the magnitude of voltage. In all the three cases, when AC voltage is connected to a resistor, capacitor or inductor, the magnitude of current is always less than the magnitude of voltage. And here in this case, current leads voltage by an angle pi by 2. So it starts from the upper region like this. So current is leading voltage by an angle pi by 2. And the magnitude of current is less. So graph is like this. The magnitude of current is less and the current leads voltage by an angle pi by 2. So this dotted line represents current. Clear? So from the graph itself it shows that current leads voltage by an angle pi by 2 and the magnitude of current is less than the magnitude of voltage. Here this maximum value represents Vm, this maximum value represents Im. Clear children? Now how will you draw the phasor diagram? Consider an angle between 0 and pi by 2 as usual. Let that angle be omega t1 and from that omega t1 we can draw a perpendicular like this. Here it touches the voltage curve and here it touches the current curve. From that draw a perpendicular. Okay. Now from the origin we can draw a vector. So this is the voltage graph, no? So we can draw a vector like this. And this represents the voltage phasor. And here it touches the current curve. Again we can draw a vector or phasor like this. And this represents the current phasor. So here current leads voltage by an angle pi by 2. Okay, voltage, the angle, the phase difference between voltage and current is pi by 2 and this shows that current leads voltage by an angle pi by 2. So the angle between voltage and current is pi by 2 and this angle is omega t1. This is omega t1. So therefore the angle between the x-axis and the voltage phasor is omega t1. So what does it mean here? From the phasor diagram it is clearly explained that current leads voltage by an angle pi by 2. And the magnitude of voltage phasor, this is Vm and here this is Im and Im is less than Vm. And this projection, this is called a projection. Here the projection is, what is this one? Vm sine omega t1 and here this is current. And the projection of current is, what is this value? Im sine omega t1 plus pi by 2. Clear children? Okay, so this is the method of drawing graph and the phasor. So how will you draw the phasor? Consider an angle between 0 and pi by 2. Let that angle be omega t1. From that draw a perpendicular. Here this represents the voltage phasor and here this represents the current phasor. And the magnitude of current is less than the magnitude of voltage. And it is clearly explained that current leads voltage by an angle pi by 2. Now we can derive the instantaneous power supplied to the capacitor. We have power equal to voltage into current, P equal to VI. And what is the voltage, AC voltage here? Vm sine omega t. And what is the current derived here? Im sine omega t plus pi by 2. When AC voltage is connected to a capacitor, current leads voltage by an angle pi by 2. Therefore, current I is Im sin omega t plus pi by 2 is equal to Vm Im can be taken together sin omega t into sin omega t plus pi by 2 is cos omega t. Clear? So, this can be written as sin omega t cos omega t is sin 2 omega t by 2. So, here it can be written as Vm Im by 2 sin 2 omega t. That you know, what is sin 2 omega t? 2 sin omega t cos omega t. Using that trigonometric function, we can write our instantaneous power is Vm Im by 2 sin 2 omega t. Clear children? Now we can derive the formula for average power. Average power over a complete cycle. Average power over a complete cycle is P average. How will you find out the average power? We have to take the average of the instantaneous power. So take the average Vm Im divided by 2 sin 2 omega t. We have to take the average. Vm Im by 2 is a constant. So it can be written as Vm Im divided by 2 into average of sin 2 omega t. Already we have discussed average of sin 2 omega t is equal to 0. Okay. So here also average power equal to 0. So when AC voltage is connected to an inductor and the AC voltage connected to a capacitor, average power dissipated over one complete cycle is equal to 0. Average power over a complete cycle in both the case, inductive circuit and capacitive circuit, average power equal to 0. Okay.